So due to a very special request, guys, I'm going to be giving you my very own rig rundown. Here's a demo and review of everything that I use up to this point in my shows. Let's get started. So with this review, I'm going to be giving you guys an overview of mostly my pedals and stuff. I'm going to be using this Ibanez to do this review, and I will be also using this setup. This is a Marshall 412 cab with Celestions. I'm not sure what exact model the speakers are, but I might be able to get you guys that information off the data plate on the back. I'll include that information in the description of the video. And this is a Bugera V55 HD custom rebuilt. I was having an issue where the fuses were blowing out on me for a while, so I had it reworked, and this thing's a tank now. It's bulletproof. Everything I throw at it, whatever effects, it just wails. Really warm tones, great amp for what you're paying for it. It is very well worth the money. So in order, we have the Boss RC30 loop station. This thing is awesome. Has up to 99 channels that you can store, I don't even remember how many minutes worth of tracks on each, and it's got dual channels. Thing's awesome. Put a link to all of these in the description then, just so you guys can check out what they're going for and all that. This next one is the Boss Distortion DS1, very popular rock, blues, metal-y kind of sound there. Thing is ass-kicking. Great basic knobs. You get exactly the kinds of sounds you want out of this guy with very little adjustments. Next is this guy. We have this Danelectro Cool Cat distortion pedal. Now this guy, probably a lot of you guys haven't seen this one. It's probably one that you'd walk right by in a shop, but I'll tell you, it's just like the DS1, except it's got a little more crunch, and it's got a little more ability to do some editing on the things. This guy right here, I don't know if you can see this, you can rotate to get treble and bass. On this guy, I prefer to get as much crunch as I can, so I kind of put the bass higher, and the treble gives you a nice chunky power chord kind of stuff with that pedal. Great sound. This next one is the Danelectro Cool Cat Transparent Overdrive. This thing is amazing with tube amps. Gives you that perfect little like blues kind of feel with that pedal. And it gives you that chunkiness when you want it, but then the clarity when you need it too. Very little adjustments needed. And again, it has that two-way treble and bass knob there that you can go ahead and get a little more fine-tuned. Yeah, these two guys, you'd probably walk right by them in a shop, but I'll tell you, they are outstanding pedals for what you pay for them. And then this guy is probably another one that I think I got this one at a pawn shop or something, like a flea market, and it's awesome. It's got a built-in tuner, and it's really effective. You have a plethora of effects that you can do with this thing, and I'll get into that. And I've used a combination of these pedals for multiple shows that I've played, and honestly, they're all very reliable pedals. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm gonna run through these pedals in the order that I just showed you there with that brief overview. So the first one was that Boss RC30 loop station. Honestly, I only ever really used this one when I was doing like solo shows where I would do, you know, like a little bit of stuff on top of. I'd need a rhythm to do some cool lead stuff on top of, like, I can give you a demonstration of something I would do with that. is awesome. I highly recommend that. A friend of mine named Matt Bailey kind of suggested that one to me. Awesome guy in the Berks County area. If you guys have never heard of him, you need to get out and check that guy out. He is a one-man band. All right, so that was the clean effect there that I was using on the zoom pedal on the far right, and that lead tone that I was using there was this Distortion, the DS1, Boss DS1 there. That pedal, honestly, what I use that one mostly for is for lead tones, for higher end leading kind of stuff. So that's just one thing that I use that for. Honestly, it's got some good capabilities here. If you turn up the distortion a little bit too, if you give it a little more of a crunch, like you can use it for some pretty metal stuff. That's like a little bit of trivium stuff for you there. And on the amp, I pretty much have everything tuned the way I would at a show. I'm not putting as much reverb and presence. Actually, I'm going to boost that up a little bit here, just to give me a little more of a punch here. I don't want to kill my neighbors here. It's kind of late. Really cool pedal for that. Anyway, so let's move on to the next one. That one's got some pretty cool functionality to it, though. It's pretty versatile. You can throw it in any rig. Another thing with these pedals too is that they all have pretty good bypass. Like none of them really interfere with each other when they're off, and they integrate pretty well too. Like something I guess I could show you that I don't usually do. But, let's say I wanted to do like a Kryptonite or something is a good example for this, where I'd use the transparent overdrive. Next pedal we have in line here is the Cool Cat Danelectro distortion pedal. It's the red guy that was in the middle there, in that overview there. This one, like I said, is great for just, you know, crunchy, like power chords kind of stuff. I usually dial this one up pretty good with the with kind of like less treble, more bass, just because I think it works better for that, for a rhythm section that needs a lot of distortion. This pedal is the best for that. Gives you a lot of chunk, but still gives you a lot of clarity too. You could even go as far to put this, you know, in the category with like a metal pedal. I never really put the distortion up that high, where it kind of screams, because I don't think it sounds good with that. But you know, on a middle end there, it really brings that stuff out. So I'll give you a little demo of that. Great pedal for that, I'll tell you. Yes, I'll give you guys a brief little demo of like a way that I would throw this guy on for some like rhythmic stuff, and then I'll jump into the Cool Cat transparent overdrive for a little bit of a boost for that lead tone. So here we go. So that is what I use with that guy. So I guess the next pedal that I'll move on to is the transparent overdrive here. Something I guess I should do is kind of show you what it sounds like versus, you know, just the clean coming right out of the amp. So let's do that. it's a great pedal for that. It's almost like a boost pedal, and you can really crank it up on the distortion high end there, and really turn it into like a blues pedal, you know, where you can like, I don't know. Let's do another comparison here. Yeah, great tones coming out of that guy anyway. A lot of functionality again. That one is highly integratable too, especially if you have a nice warm tube amp. It really integrates well with the analog tones and stuff like that. The next one I'm gonna go to is this Zoom Guitar 5052, whatever kind of guy named that, I don't know. But this pedal, I'll tell you, it gives you too much functionality for what it's worth, in a great way. What I'm trying to say, I guess, is for what you pay for this pedal, you get a lot of functionality. You can do so much customization on so many different kinds of tones. It's a great beginner, like before you buy like a Boss G2 or something, or like a Line 6 pod. This is a great place to start for that, digitally kind of editing your own effects. The interface on there is really easy to use too. If you guys give me some requests, maybe I'll go in deeper too on all these pedals, as far as what kind of tones you can get and how to use them in tutorials and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just going to show you a little overview of some of the effects that I use for our live shows with the climbing. So here we go. This is kind of just a clean one. This is just a clean effect that I have here that I don't usually mess around with too much. This one actually stacks well with the Line 6 with the Boss Distortion pedal. This first effect is just a clean effect here that I have. This one works really good with the Boss Distortion pedal whenever you want to throw in those like lead tones, like for that Weezer song. I can already tell that sounds better than just that pedal alone, like I did earlier. Just because of like I said, it's a great pedal. It gives you great cleans. It emulates itself really well, and it passes over the effects that you build in there really well to the other analog pedals too. This is just a regular delay that I have configured in there. I think it might have like a little bit of something else in there, but. Definitely get some cool functionality out of that. This next effect is one that like blew me away the first time I started using it. We use it in our album title song, Break the Mold. It's the way that I kind of get that kind of like really slow tremolo kind of sound. This is like a slow attack distortion effect here. And another song that I found that's pretty cool to do it with, like I'll do the demonstration here with, is Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. This is a pretty eerie effect. This thing emulates it super well too. I think it's kind of like a chorus reverb kind of flanger kind of thing. I'm not really sure what all goes into it, but it's a great effect, and like it just really shows you the wide range of effects that you can get with this little guy. And just some like awesome effect. Highly recommend checking it out. Another effect on here, I was kind of just messing around one day and I made it. I don't really use this in the performances. Just kind of want to show you the overview of how many different kinds of things you can get out of that guy. This is from Boulevard of Broken Dreams kind of effect. Like this, it kind of brings out like the creative juices in you too, which is really cool about having a digital effects pedal. One of the things that I particularly took note is it kind of motivated me to kind of experiment with new sounds and stuff. So if you kind of feel like you hit a rut and you're like playing, get one of these. Like this thing was so cheap and it has so much functionality, well worth the money. And it gets you just moving and changing the way you play certain things, and it really gets the creative juices flowing. So that's pretty much goes for the pedals there, and that's kind of what I wanted to do as the overview for that for now. I don't really want to go too deep into the guitars. I feel like I could do that in another video. This one I got for $200 or something, maybe 300 in a pawn shop. It's my first 7-string guitar. I was working pretty closely there with Ethan McKenna for a while, jamming with him on a regular basis. He's an awesome guy, and he uses an 8-string, and I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm on that level yet. So I kind of found this happy medium, and I really love it. You never have to drop deep with this thing. You just got to know your neck. This next guitar you might recognize from a lot of our more recent shows. This one I've been using. This one is awesome guitar. It's another Ibanez that I have. Hint, hint, Ibanez should sponsor me. Anyway, this one I got at Sam Ash recently. I think it's the first guitar I ever bought brand new. I don't know, I got motivated from like Marty McFly playing Chuck Berry song, and I always wanted a hollow body since then. So this is the first one of those I ever got. It's a great guitar. It gives you great options for really clean tones, and it really wails too if you put on some good distortion and you know what you're doing. It does a lot of good. So that was my overview of my rig rundown.